In this video, I will show you how to repair a sword that's been damaged. Now, there are a few conditions you might want to keep in mind. The sword is considered repairable to full durability if the paper core or the template is still in one piece, as in it's not in 2 or 3 pieces. The edge must not have been missing parts or have major dents in it. Typically, this is important if the sword you're trying to repair is a sparring sword. If delamination has occurred, then the repaired area will not be as strong as it is when it was first built due to air bubbles. If the sword is broken into 2 or more pieces, although repairable, it will still be a wall hanger or a prop. Typically, I would consider remaking the sword at this point. The supporting structure is not considered in determining whether or not the sword is repairable because it can be stripped and replaced as a whole. The sword you see before me is my sparring sword that I had regrettably lent out to a friend, who then proceeded to use it in a Hollywood-style sword fight, threw it into a pile of something red, and then broke the tip. The damage is mostly cosmetic and a minor structural delamination. The template is still intact. Begin by first stripping off the paper panels that cover the blade. Find a good place to start, such as an existing gap, or you may have to cut one yourself. Using the knife as a wedge, slowly separate the panel from the template. Go slowly as you don't want to cut the template. This step is typically done to replace cosmetic damage done to the sword, or to get at the supporting structure for repairs. And remember guys, knife safety. Cut away from yourself. Now that you have the panels off on both sides, use a craft knife and slowly trim off the leftover paper and glue from the edges. This is so that the new panels will have a clean surface to stick to. Again, be careful not to cut into the template. In my case, I am also refinishing the hilt, so the existing paper covering is also stripped. Here is the broken tip. As you can see, it's only the glue that failed. The supports themselves are intact. Strip, replace, and reinforce as needed to prevent future breaks. Once you've made all your internal repairs, start covering everything back up. This step is identical to when you first built your sword. Now you should have a fully repaired sword. This one took me about 12 hours to get to this point, but it sure beats the 40 to 60 hours needed to build a new one. I'm not completely finished with this particular sword as I still have some scrollwork designs to cut out and glue onto the blade, and maybe some scaling for the handles. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, feel free to leave a question or comment, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already if you want to see more.